Have you ever had one of those days when nothing goes right? You
What is up, hooligans, and happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that like button. More likes equals more hooligans. We're going to read through the schedule really quick, and then we will be checking on all the chats, so let me know how you hooligans are doing today. Then, of course, we'll be getting everything started. We're going to be starting off with a video titled, Mr. Fauci's Evil Lab Has Finally Been Shut Down. I guess they have rescued the beagles, and we got Marjorie Taylor Greene in that video. Then we got a video titled, Department of Education is resuming collection of defaulted student loans. Be prepared for the lefties to get real mad over this. They're going to blame President Trump for them not paying off their student loans. I have $42,000 in student loan debt, and I've been paying on it every damn month like I'm supposed to, whether I can afford it or not. And these idiots were duped by old man Walter. They thought Biden was really going to forgive their loans, so they didn't pay him. Well, now that the Department of Education is going to start doing collection, these people are going to default on their loans, which means that they're going to have their wages garnished and their taxes taken and everything else. And, of course, they're going to say, oh, it's the mean orange man that did it. Then we got a video from earlier today titled, Canadian Prime Minister rebuffs Trump's push for 51st state. Trump says, never say never. Then we got a video titled, We Don't Need Mineral Deal with Ukraine. Marjorie Taylor Greene says they're going to be talking about a plethora of topics, obviously including the mineral deal with Ukraine. Then we got a video titled, Representative Rosa DeLauro, which is the weird old lady with purple hair, says, where's the evidence of the failure of FEMA? Of course, she eats those words right after stating that. Then we got a video titled Diddy Trial. Sean Diddy Combs nervous for trial during jury selection. This is just the beginning of the Diddy trial. It'll be interesting as this goes on, I'm sure. Then we got a video titled Seriously, CNN puts on cartel love fest just to spite Trump. Of course, that TDS, it needs company, so why not ask terrorists? Then we have a very short video. It's titled Antifa came out of University of Washington last night. I assume that we'll see more of Antifa. They didn't really do anything yesterday. They did set something on fire and they stood around. I actually went to check lives while this was happening. I don't remember what time it was happening, sometime last night. There was only one live showing it, and they were showing the boots of the police officers, and that was it. They wouldn't show anything else that was going on, which is why we didn't go live last night. Then we got a video titled, Fauci will testify either voluntarily or involuntarily, says Senator Rand Paul. It's been a while since we've covered Rand Paul, but he claims he's going after Fauci. Then the last little bit of the news is lefties losing it. Funniest president, Trump's hilarious TDS prognosis. And then we'll be getting into the fun stuff. We'll be opening today's door of the advent calendar that was sent to us by Hair Juicer. And then we got 2 funny videos of the day. First one is by Stoner. It's titled "One Beer In," and you start going off like this. And then our official funny video of the day is titled "Baby Theo." All of that's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat and see how you hooligans are doing today. What is up, everyone over on jeffmaclive.com? What's up, Guessum J? What's up, Russell? What's up, Josh1776? What's up, Snooks? What's up, Hair Juicer? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being on the website. And what is up, everyone over on Rumble? Free Thinking Texan, you were first today. I appreciate you racing to the chat, Free Thinking Texan. What's up, Too Old to Care? What's up, Stoner? Happy freedom to you. What's up, MU? What's up, Holly? Happy freedom to you, hooligans. What's up, Mr. Satan? What's up, Appeal to Heaven? What's up, Pumpkin? Happy freedom to you. Let me see. Did I get you, Mary Todd? Happy freedom to you, Mary Todd. I think we got everybody. What's up, Metal Mouth? What's up, Rappy? I think I got everybody. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble. See if you can get us on their front page. And what is up, everyone over on Kick? What's up, Viola? Happy freedom to you. And what is up, everyone over on Twitch? What's up, Kirk Allen? Happy freedom. And what is up, everyone over on the CommuTube? Mr. Satan, happy freedom to you. What's up, Toy Mafia? Snooks, you were first over here. What's up, TLG? What's up, Digital Saints? Happy freedom. What's up, We Grow? What's up, Scott? What's up, Proud Patriot Girly? What's up, Vinny C? Happy freedom, you hooligans. You guys are welcome. Hit that like button as well. And what's up, Wayward? Appreciate you being over here on X. Let's see, Wayward. I think that riot was a big show planned by everyone involved on both sides. What do you mean, at the University of Washington? I didn't really see it as a riot. They were just kind of standing around. Even the fire wasn't very big, but I mean, it's the most riot-like Antifa scene we've seen in probably 4 years. So I'm telling you, we're going to have a spicy summer, and I think it's already starting to get kicked off. We're going to go ahead and get things started. Like I said, this very first video is titled "Mr. Fauci's Evil Lab Has Finally Been Shut Down." You mean the lab that don't exist? The lab where they were doing gain of function? Where it all began. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you hooligans really quick, we have these Trump was right about everything t-shirts. Now, this design was created by Alistair, and Alistair is a badass in just about everything he does. So I will be posting his link in all of the chats for you hooligans to have the opportunity to hire him for your creative needs, because if you think it, he can create it. Now, this design does come in shirts for men, shirts for women, tank tops for men, tank tops for women, pullover hoodies, zipper hoodies, coffee mugs, dog tags, and we even made long sleeve shirts out of this design. Today I got on the plain Jane Jeff Mac t-shirt. We got lots of items and lots of designs over in the merch store. I'll be dropping all the links in the chats while we're watching this first video.
Oh my goodness! Hello! What's his name?
Uno.
Uno! Hello!
Uno was rescued from this 21 when we exposed Fauci's beagle test.
Yeah.
The Post ran a cover story saying it was a fake claim about beagle research. Cover story in the Sunday paper saying we were liars. Then we got all the documents and the receipts through FOIA showing that Fauci absolutely funded the photo that you took, that you showed on the floor. When you showed it, the Post wanted to run a hit piece about you and us spreading fake news, disinformation.
Disinformation.
So they called me and they said, "Hey, why are you in
How do
MTG?"
you feel about that, Una?
Yeah. So they said, "Why are you and MTG still sharing this fake news about Fauci? It's been debunked." And I said, "Well, actually, we have the receipts through the Freedom of Information Act showing the Congresswoman is absolutely right." They wrote a fact check piece that fact checked their own reporting and said that Fauci and the NIH lied to them about it in 2021 and that we were absolutely right and that he did fund that lab. And I would say Fauci is probably more, as an individual, responsible for more animal testing than any single other individual in history.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I really support what you've done, and Dr. Fauci belongs in prison. What do you think, Uno? Dr. Fauci needs to go to jail? Yes. And all the other rotten people that did terrible things to you and all your family members.
Okay. Save the beagles. We'll see if they actually hold Fauci accountable. Like I said, later on in the live, we have a Rand Paul video where he swears up and down he's going to hold Fauci accountable. Yeah, tired of them saying that. I wish they would just do it. Surprise us. Don't tell us you're going to do it. Just one day you just see Fauci in handcuffs and we're like, what happened? They go, guess what, guys? You know, do it like that. Do it like that. Stop telling us you're going to do stuff and just do the stuff and then tell us what happened. Anyways, next up we got Department of Education is resuming collections of defaulted student loans. Like I said, this is going to have the lefties all kinds of pissed off. They're going to blame President Trump because they didn't pay their bills. It's just the name of the game, isn't it? Anyways, we're going to read through the chat first before we hop into this video. See what you hooligans think about these saved beagles. What's up, Air Juicer? Happy Freedom. Why are you the fucking juicer? It sounds like you have like an addiction to working out. Oh, it's the fucking juicers here today. Good stuff. Let's see, Russell. That's a cute beagle, but they're dumb dogs. I mean, yeah, Russell, I guess. He's just out of jail for 1 day. First time dog's been out of the cage, and you gotta tell him he's dumb. Come on, Russell. What's up, Captain Seamus? Happy Freedom to you. Josh 1776. I feel like this is jab at the Indian Michigan dude. I don't know. Everything leads back to that guy. He's been real quiet after he made his little statement video there, and everybody smoked him with the memes. Josh 1776. You hate poodles? Poodles are mean, from what I understand. I've never met one in person, but I hear that they're mean. Metal Mouth, less talk, more action, and handcuffs. Yeah, absolutely. We need that. Appeal to Heaven. I can't read that out loud while YouTube and Twitch is watching, but yeah, that's definitely an idea. Metal Mouth, where's Klaus Daniels? He's been sleeping. It's a really hot day here. I'm going to be melting during the whole live. It is hot here, so he's sleeping out near the slider. Cody, CNN. But your feelings, Cartel. Thank you for understanding. Killing Americans is getting harder. Yeah, Cody, it's very much like that. That interview is sympathy for the terrorists. What's up, Meta? Happy Freedom. You can hear me, but you can't see me? We're live, ain't we? There I is. I don't know why you can't see me, Meta. I can see me. What's up, Skulls? Happy Freedom to you. I don't know what your name is. Pet Goat. Happy Freedom to you. What's up, Cam? Or CAM? I don't think you're Cam. I think you're somebody else. Either way, happy Freedom to you. Tactical, I'll check my email after the live. Thank you for letting me know. What's up, DB Cooper? Happy Freedom. Big drop from O'Keefe tomorrow. Awesome. I will definitely check it out. Wayward. I love a good surprise. I know. I wish they would surprise us with something good. Orange Beagle to the rescue. Yeah, but they're not going to feel that way on the lefties. Hair juicer, you cracked me up. All right, hooligans, let's get into this next one. Like I said, Department of Education is resuming collections of defaulted student loans, which means every Democrat's about to lose their marbles all at once because they're all about to default on their loans. And that means the big bad government, they're going to be coming to steal all their little doll hairs. Now, I know most of them are just drug dealers or drug addicts, so, you know, this is going to be hard to take those doll hairs. But if they ever did work a real job, well, they're not going to get paid from it because of this. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
I just sort of gave up.
At 18 years old, Cara Kalajra took out about $60,000 in student loans. 12 years later, she's risen up in her field as a social worker. All along, the interest on her monthly loan payments rising too.
Can you talk to me about sort of that decision? You said you have not made a payment ever. I have not. I truly just started what I feel like making enough money to just not be living completely paycheck to paycheck. But the last one they said was like $1,400 a month. That's rent. So I cannot afford that.
The U.S. Department of Education says more than 42 million Americans owe more than $1.6 trillion in student debt. Kalajara, one of 5 million who have not made a payment in over a year.
Any plans to start paying, or?
Frankly, no.
The message from federal officials as collections resume: student and parent borrowers, not taxpayers, must repay their student loans. And quote, resuming collections protects taxpayers from shouldering the cost of federal student loans that borrowers willingly undertook.
All right, so just give me a second here. I got to write a reminder I'll never remember. All right. Anyways, that's a lefty right there. You can tell by her glasses, or its glasses. You never know if it's a her or he, or if it still has its wiener intact. You never know when it comes to the left. But do you plan on paying? No. Oh. Okay, well, don't cry when your social working job that you think is so great doesn't pay you anymore because your wages are being garnished by the federal government because you agreed to pay federal loans back and then you decided not to. Like, she is not even going to be able to claim that Biden's the reason why she didn't pay her student loans because she did that interview. Everybody else, they might have a little leverage there. They might be able to say, oh, well, the last president, or the last man shitting in the Oval Office promised that he was going to wipe the student loan debt, so I didn't pay it. And maybe they could work a deal out. Maybe. But that thing sitting there with the giant glasses, nah, they're screwed. They're screwed. They just openly admitted in front of God and everybody that they are not going to pay back their student loans. But at least they finally got to the point in their social working job where they're not living directly paycheck to paycheck. You be living on the fucking street after the federal government garnishes your wages. There's a reason why I pay my student loans. I don't want to have to live in fear like that. Next up, we got a video from earlier today titled Canadian Prime Minister Rebuffs Trump's Push for 51st State. Trump says never say never. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about these lefties about to cry really hard because the Department of Education is going to start collecting again. Russell, she doesn't make six figures. No, I'd be surprised. I'm surprised that she makes a livable wage. Cab Seamus, social workers get paid shit. That's the upside of it. Yeah, I don't know why these people go to school to be social workers. It seems like a terrible job. Josh 1776, making 3 Zoom calls a day, making 6 figures a year must be so stressful. Well, I highly doubt she works very hard. I just look at her, the way she behaves. You know, she's like, well, I didn't pay my student loans because I didn't have a lot of money. I don't have any money. I still pay mine. I'd rather be broke than have the federal government breathing down my neck. Russell, she probably makes 40 or 50K. Yeah. I imagine. Guess happy freedom to you. You'll be collecting that debt, repoing that money. What's up, Girth? Happy freedom. Cody POS. Yeah. She just admits to it. Just, oh, yeah, I signed up for student loans. I'm just not going to pay them back. Good. I hope nobody ever loans you anything again. Holly shouldn't have taken out the loans in the first place. Absolutely. I mean, when you do, they give you so many warnings. There's so many pieces of paper you got to sign, and it's just over and over again. Do you understand that if you take this money, that you have to pay it back, and if you don't, they're going to take every dollar they can from you? And you're like, yeah. And then they're like, okay, but here's another paper. It says the same exact thing. You're like, yeah. You got to sign it like 3 or 4 times. There's no getting out of it. She's going to be hurting. Next time we see her interviewing, she's going to be crying. What's up, my feed? Happy freedom to you. People having those are 70s glasses. Yeah. She wants everyone to know she's liberal. Mary Todd, you chose it, so pay it. Yep, it's true. Viola sign every semester. Yeah. Well, and that's what I mean. There's no, like, being surprised that you got to pay back your student loans. They warn you all the time. When I was doing mine digitally, there's big red banners. Like, if you don't pay, we're going to rape you. Like, okay, all right. I mean, there's no question about it. What's up, Lisa? Happy freedom. All lefties are going to be crying. What's up, Tony Rich? Happy freedom to you. Pat, they're all on the same side. Yeah, they are. What's up, Mike Ingle? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Cheeky Chops? All right, hooligans, we're going to move forward here. Like I said, this next video is from earlier today. It's titled Canadian Prime Minister Rebuffs Trump's Push for 51st State, but Trump says never say never. Before we get into this, I want to remind you hooligans really quick, if you'd like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on jeffmaclive.com or over on Discord. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out, as we're making Saturdays more fun. Let's get this pulled up here. Oh, Carney of the Carnival came to see the Orange Eagle today. They had a nice little chit chat. Good stuff. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the Commie Tube, and let's get into this.
No. Well, I still believe that, but you know, it takes two to tango, right? But no, I do. I mean, I believe it would be a massive tax cut for the Canadian citizens. You get free military, you get tremendous medical cares and other things. There would be a lot of advantages, but it would be a massive tax cut. And it's also a beautiful, you know, as a real estate developer, you know, I'm a real estate developer at heart. When you get rid of that artificially drawn line, somebody drew that line many years ago with like a ruler, just a straight line right across the top of the country. When you look at that beautiful formation when it's together, I'm a very artistic person, but when I looked at that beauty, I said, that's the way it was meant to be. But, you know, I do feel it's much better for Canada. But we're not going to be discussing that unless somebody wants to discuss it.
Well, if I may, as you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, you know, Buckingham Palace that you visited as well.
That's true.
And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever. But the opportunity is in the partnership and what we can build together. We have done that in the past, and part of that, as the president just said, is with respect to our own security. And my government is committed for a step change in our investment in Canadian security and our partnership, and I'll say this as well, that the president has revitalized international security, revitalized NATO, and us playing our full weight in NATO, and that will be part of it.
And they have, I must say, Canada is stepping up the military participation because Mark knew, you know, they were low and now they're stepping it up, and that's a very important thing. But never say never. Never say never.
President Trump was too quick for him. Carney didn't like that. I don't know. They're sitting there smiling and stuff, but I don't think Carly. Carly of Canada. Oh, Carney there. Carney of the Carnival. I don't think he likes President Trump. His body language seems that he's not a big fan. And then President Trump was like, never say never. And then the press lost their marbles. And I don't know. Carney tried to recoup, but it didn't seem like it was working. Next up, we got a Marjorie Taylor Greene video. It's titled, We Don't Need Mineral Deals with Ukraine. They're going to talk about a plethora of topics in this video. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about President Trump interacting with Carney of Canada coming to the White House today. At least he didn't get thrown out. You know, like, what's his name from Ukraine? He didn't get thrown out. They played nice, but we'll see how it goes, because the last time we covered Carney was when he won the election in Canada, and he decided to make part of his winning speech about President Trump. You know, talk bad about President Trump. So we'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. Okay, Seamus. Alberta has a lot of folks who want to secede. I keep seeing that. I keep seeing that there's like parts of Canada that want to be their own thing. We saw that here, Texas, and there was a couple other states that wanted to separate from the U.S. because of Biden and all of that, which it never happened. But we'll see how Canada does it. Russell, some parts of Canada want to leave. Yeah, we'll see if they go forth with it. What's up, Silver Wolf? Happy freedom to you. Here, Juicer, the papers for skydiving are scarier than jumping. Why? What does it say? Appeal to heaven, iron domes on the border of Canada. I wonder how that would work. Ours isn't going to be called the Iron Dome. Ours is called the Golden Dome or something like that if they ever make it. But I wonder if it will be along the border between us and Canada. Holly, Carney, you need to face the facts. Yeah. I don't think he's a big fan of that. We'll see, though. Metal Mouth President Trump's like, fuck around and find out, asshole. Yeah, he's going to find out, all right. They're playing all nice now, and they're talking down the tariffs and whatnot, but Carney seems slimy. So we'll see. Cody, you're cracking me up. What's up, Fitzy? Happy freedom. Can't get out of student loan debt by filing for bankruptcy either. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, the lefties, they're going to be mad. They should have been paying their debt instead of wishing that Biden was going to, wipe it for them. He don't even wipe himself. What were they thinking? Appeal to heaven. I went to college for 3 months, couldn't graduate or anything because I couldn't do calculus. Never went back, and those 3 months cost me $10,000. I believe it. It was $7,500 every month while I was in college. And yeah. Yeah, that's the not fun side about college. College is expensive. And most of the shit you learn at college, you can learn online. Kicker. That's the kicker. What's up, Roy? Happy freedom to you. Here, Juicer, when you're signing up to skydive, you're going to die and you can't sue us. You're going to die and you can't sue us, etc. Yeah, I heard you say. I mean, I figured it was something like that, but it does put things into perspective. 10 man, you got to take her easy. You got to take her easy. Don't push yourself too much. Bet the yard looks good, though. Guess I'm the Dome of America. I thought they were calling it the Golden Dome or something. Maybe it was just the title of the last video that we had covered on it. Pumpkin, Canada needs to behave. I don't really think they love us. I don't know. There's a separation between their government and their people. A lot of Canadians are more worried about what Americans think of them than what they think of Americans. I don't know who told them, but somebody told Canadians that we think they're soft and polite. And I don't think anybody thinks Canadians are polite. I don't know. Every Canadian I've talked to, they're like, yeah, just because I'm a Canadian doesn't mean I'm some soft little sissy. I'm like, no, nobody was saying that at all. Nobody said that. And they're like, yeah, but Americans think this. And I'm like, I've never talked to an American that thinks about Canada for 10 seconds. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. So somebody's telling the Canadians that we're doing a lot of thinking about them. We're not. We're not. So don't worry about us thinking you're soft or too polite. We don't think about you at all. You don't think about us. So they need to just get rid of that stereotype. We're a lot alike. We're just on the opposite ends of an invisible line. That's really it. Well, and we got guns, but, that's secondary. Silver Wolf, see you after you die. What? Yeah, if you jump out of a plane. Fitzy, there's a DIY video of Joe Biden telling you don't jump. Yeah, I think we had it as a soundbite for a little bit. I don't know why he thought that was a good idea. They'd go to these staged rallies for Old Man Walter, and there'd be somebody on a balcony or on second floor or whatever, and he'd look up at him and go, don't jump. Like, why would you say that? Like, so stupid. They were thinking about it until you showed up, Old Man Walter. Now that you told everybody not to jump, you know, they're second guessing themselves. So stupid. Here, Juice, you're cracking me up. For the Texan, that's a stereotype for Canadians from people in general, that Canadians are very soft and too polite. Yeah, but I think that stereotype is made by Canadians towards Canadians. Because whenever I talk to any other American and I say anything about Canada, the first thing that people say is, well, they don't have guns. Yeah. That's it. That's the consensus right there. So I've never heard anybody be like, man, Canadians are really polite. Did you know that? No. Every Canadian I've met has been an asshole to me. So, like, no. I've never seen a polite Canadian in my life. Even the kids are like that. I'm like, nah. It's kind of like short man syndrome, you know, and you got dudes that are short and they just want to fight everybody because everybody thinks they're short. Dude, nobody cares that you're short. Like, just go sit down somewhere. I don't know. People being mad, I guess. What's up, Pag? Happy Freedom. Meta, someone please tell me what the bus behind Trump is. I can't remember what it is. They talked about it months ago, and now I can't remember what it is. I bet somebody in the chat knows what it is. What's up, Rich? Happy Freedom. What's up, Guess Who? Happy Freedom to you. Guess Who? Trump was showing him his balls before the meeting. Go touch him. Nah, I don't think that's what was happening. Maybe. They're Orange Eagles Nuggets. Here you go. What's up, Slave Nation? Happy Freedom. Vinny, hey, dude, be polite. Yeah. I don't know. It's just a weird stereotype. Maybe it's an older thing. Maybe the older generations used to talk about that. But anybody in their 30s and stuff, I've never heard anybody being like, oh, man, Canadians are overly polite. Canadians are so much like Americans. They believe that their country is the greatest in the world. And they're the toughest on the earth. They're maple syrup Americans, you know, really, that's what it is. But, you know, that's gonna piss somebody off. Vinny, see, Canadians and Americans are very much alike. Yeah. What's up, Jim? Happy Freedom to you. Vinny C, Carney is a deep state puppet. I think so too. I'm not even Canadian. Just looking at him. Whoa, somebody just slammed the door hard as shit. Everybody wants to act like an asshole until I start acting like an asshole. They better not do that anymore. What's up, Rip Curl? Happy Freedom. Rip Curl, well, many Canadians are soft, but if we're being honest, so are many Americans. Yeah, it's a tomato. Like I said, we're just on opposite ends of the invisible line. Wayward, I'm glad I dropped out of high school. I dropped out of high school for like 3 years, and then I went back in adult ed. Got my diploma and then went and got my degree. Here, Juicer, don't you know? No, that's like Minnesota, isn't it? Metamouth, I've met some rather rude Canadians in the 50 years I've been alive, so it goes both ways. Yeah, well, I've never met a nice Canadian. There's some sort of complex. They're just like, hey, I don't want you thinking I'm polite. Buddy, I didn't even know you were Canadian until you started getting all shitty. Like, damn. What's up, Bob Marley? Happy Freedom. Bob Marley, to be honest, the only time I went to Windsor, everyone was pretty nice. Bought me a lot of shots for my birthday. That's badass. What's up, TLG? Happy Freedom to you. TLG. I'm in Washington State on the border of Canada, and the people in Vancouver are known to be polite, probably because they're all stoned. Well, there ain't nothing wrong with happy people. I'm not going to read that out loud. That's going to make everybody pissed at me. I need to make friends instead of more enemies. All right, let's get into this next one. Like I said, we don't need, I almost said no, but that's Ebonics. We don't need mineral deal with Ukraine, says Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now in this video, she's going to be talking about a plethora of topics, not just the mineral deal with Ukraine, but it's a little while. This video is 8 minutes long, but we're going to cut it at 5 because They just kind of drag it out after a little bit there. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Joining us live tonight, first time ever, I believe, here on the Hill, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's nice to see you. It's nice to speak with you. Thanks for being with us tonight, Congresswoman.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
Of course. So I laid out some of your posts that you put out there a few days ago in which you revealed why you believe the base is not happy. You have a direct line to the president. Why did you feel that now was the time to do it, and sort of what was the tipping point for you?
Well, actually, the base is thrilled with President Trump. Border security has never been better, and the economy's going in the right direction. Inflation is coming down. Gas is coming down. Eggs is finally back down. Food prices are coming down. Airline tickets are coming down, and jobs are up. However, it's Congress the base is furious with, and Congress didn't seem to get the message from the November 2024 election. And that's what I'm sounding the alarm about. I'm an early indicator, and I am completely aligned with the base. I, as a member of Congress, campaigned with President Trump more than anyone else, and I know what people stood on their feet for hours and hours for. I know what made them stand up and cheer, and I know what made them cry. And I am coming out here. It's been 100 days, and it's time for us to get the job done and deliver his agenda.
But you also criticized Ukraine, right? And the minerals deal, for example, which the president and his administration just struck. Here was the president over the weekend. I want to get your reaction on the other side, Congresswoman.
We've had some good conversations on Russia and Ukraine over the weekend, over the last few days, actually, but we've had some very good conversations with Russia and Ukraine. There's a lot of hatred there, I will tell you, between the two parties and between even the generals. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of hatred, but we've had some very good discussions over the last few days.
The New York Times also reported over the weekend that a Patriot air defense system is moving from Israel to Ukraine. Do you believe the president should continue those conversations with Ukraine?
You know, we campaigned on ending that war. It's a proxy war with Russia, and it should have never happened, and the president has been extremely strong and vocal on that. He wants to see the killing end, and I, as a member of Congress who never voted to send a penny to Ukraine, has only urged our government to play a role of a peace process and making a peace deal. This message has been consistent and clear. However, I'll be completely honest. The American people have seen this before. The oil in Iraq did not make America rich. The rare earth minerals in Afghanistan that were abandoned by the Biden administration did not make America rich. And, you know, we've seen several $100 billion go to Ukraine. And
so what do you
I
think the
asked for
president
an
should
audit
do?
of that, and that was supposed to be done. The American people don't know where our money is. Here's what we should do. We should focus on the enemy of America. You want to know something? I haven't seen Russians killing Americans. I haven't seen Iranians killing Americans on American soil. I haven't seen a Houthi, and I don't know what one looks like. However, I've talked with countless people because I served on the Homeland Security Committee. I am sick and tired of hearing story after story, day after day, of Americans murdered by fentanyl, drugs, crime, and the president completely agrees with this. We don't need a mineral deal in Ukraine. We should do the rare earth minerals that are here in the United States and work with a country that's not going to launder our money and sell our weapons to our enemies.
Let me move you on to the president's agenda, right? The quote-unquote one big beautiful bill that he talked about on the campaign trail, extending the tax cuts, no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. The House Speaker, Mike Johnson, said this today. I want to ask you about it on the other side.
We need to send a message of stability to the bond markets and show job creators and entrepreneurs and companies that their tax rates are made permanent, and do all the other things that we're going to do in the reconciliation bill as soon as possible. So having set Memorial Day as that very ambitious timeline was important to keep this momentum going, and that momentum is going strong right now.
Would you ever envision, Congresswoman, voting against this if there are things in there that you don't get or you don't like?
Well, I certainly won't vote to fund a war in Ukraine, and I certainly won't vote for any tax bill that does not include no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on senior citizens, which is Social Security. So I won't vote for a bill that doesn't include President Trump's campaign promises, because that's what we promised to the American people, and that's what the American people voted for. So that's the scenario I see myself having to be a no on.
All right, so that's where you are. There's been some conversation, Congresswoman, about yourself and maybe your political future, because there was...
All right. So they go on to talk about the governor of Georgia or something like that, and nothing's actually happening, but they just want her thoughts anyways, and, well, we don't need that. We don't need to do that. Either way, it's Marjorie Taylor Greene, like I said, talking about a plethora of topics there, talking about no tax on tips, talking about mineral deals with Ukraine and all of that. We will definitely see how it goes. It's been a while since we had Marjorie Taylor Greene on the live. I want to say it was around the time Tim McBride was coming into Congress, the first shapeshifter of Congress. Was elected by Colorado, I believe. And Nancy Mace was fighting off all the shapeshifters that wanted to use the inappropriate bathrooms on Capitol Hill, you know, not the ones that they should be using, but the ones of the other gender. And eventually we heard from Marjorie Taylor Greene. She also, either that was the last time we heard from her, or it was because she is part of the subcommittee of DOJ. So she makes a lot of announcements on the behalf of DOJ every once in a while. But either way, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Next up, Representative Rosa DeLauro, saying, where is the evidence of the failure of FEMA? This is the Democrat, I don't know if she's a senator or what she is, but she kind of looks like the bird-like creatures from Dark Crystal. She's got like purple and black hair and looks crazy, like she's 230 years old, maybe 235, something like that. Older and shit, probably was around when Jesus was walking the earth. But either way, she's dumb as shit, and she's coming up next. First, we're going to read through the chat, see what you Hooligans think about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Russell, I'd do her. Yeah, that's what everybody's saying in the chat. She gets on the screen, everyone's like, would. Would do that. Guess you just described Pelosi. Ah, yeah, Pelosi's got brown hair, though. That's the only difference. Yes. What's up? You gonna come to work today? They thought I ate you. Yeah, they thought I had Klaus fried rice. Come on now. Reveal yourself. Get up here. Come on, big fatty. Oh, he's just slow blinking me. He's like, Dad, don't make me jump. I just woke up. Don't make me do that. Captain Seamus, Neanderthal Barbie is still hot, even with that nasally voice. Are you sure, Captain Seamus? That's quite the description there. Jesus loves us. I wonder if she's had her nose broken or if she's always spoke like that. Russell, Iran is a huge threat. If they get a nuke, they will bring the fight to U.S. soil. Yeah, we definitely don't want those problems. Snooks, what is hot about Marjorie Taylor Greene? I don't get it. She's blonde, big boobed, strong. An actual woman, doesn't have a wiener. Good representative. That's the thing. It's the law of relativity. If Marjorie Taylor Greene was laying on Miami Beach, probably couldn't see her. You just wouldn't be able to. But if you look at all the old fucks on Capitol Hill, she's one of the hottest ones. That's how it works. It's the law of relativity. 10 man, it's a man thing. Yeah, I should have just said that. Me, I'm like, trust the science. Guess yeah, handing out pearl necklaces. That's right. That's right. What's up, Enter User? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Disco? Happy freedom to you. MTG is a bulldog, but still would. See? You hooligans crack me up. What's up, Bill Clay? Happy freedom. What's up, Cheddar Steve? Happy freedom to you. India's getting kinetic. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people talk about foreign countries' problems. We'll see how it goes. Told to carry a state base. Marjorie Taylor Greene, keep questioning. Yes. Cheddar Steve, why aren't these U.S. judges who are supporting terrorist cartels being thrown in jail already? I don't have an answer for that. I don't know. It seems weird that college kids sympathizing with terrorists are facing, being kicked out of school, and if they're foreigners, then they're losing their legal status and being deported. But if a judge sympathizes with a terrorist, no big deal. Oh well. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Tom Homan and them did arrest the 2 judges that were harboring and aiding and abetting illegals, but as far as just sympathizing with them, none of that's happened. However, the last time we saw Tom Homan, he said wait and see, kind of implying that big things are to come. Maybe they're going to indict a governor or a mayor. That would be something. But until then, it's just a lot of talk. Metal Mouth, I know I would not want to piss her off. She'd probably knock me out in one punch. Yeah, that's the thing about tough girls. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's always posting videos about lifting weights and stuff like that. I mean, it's cool that she's a tough girl, but I don't like dating tough girls. I don't like being around women who think they can beat me up. It's always a weird dynamic. Like, I could take you. What am I supposed to do? Prove you wrong? Just knock you the fuck out and wake you up and be like, I told you couldn't do it. Can we stop talking about fighting now? like what am I supposed to do with that? And being in high school and stuff, I remember tough girls coming around and be like, hey, you want to hang out later? No, I can't stand your fucking attitude. I'm glad that you're a buff bitch. Go on with your bad self. I don't want to date you, though. I don't like being around women that think they can take me and shit. I don't want to be talking about fighting and all of that, but that's how it is. That's how it goes with those weightlifting girls. They'll get you. What's up, Disco? Let me see. Pumpkin, not our war. No. Yeah, I don't know what's going on India and all of that. No, Cody, I'm just saying. Bill Clay, MTG's my representative. It's a good representative to have. Silver Wolf, nothing is hot about her, just saying. Yes. It's definitely not the common opinion right now. Russell, it's so fun being a man till you get kicked right in the nuggets. Appeal to Evan. MTG can fight me naked. Watch me run around her until she gets tired. Win-win. I guess, appeal to Evan. If you're into that sadomasochism, she's just beating you around the bedroom. You're like, Miss Marjorie Taylor Greene, can I have another? Just serving you. Yeah. To each their own. Meta, pick Klaus up and get that purr motor going. He's sitting here laying on me. I wish you could see him. He looks like roadkill. He's all knocked out. I'll grab him in a second. What's up, ANG? Happy freedom to you. I feel it's all just a game. That's how a lot of people feel. We voted for President Trump. We thought all of our problems were going to be fixed. We got a good show. We got some exciting things. We had a lot of executive orders signed that nobody follows. And now we just sit here and wait to see if things just magically get better. I don't know. Got to have faith. What's up, American patriotism? Happy freedom to you. Wayward, I remember the Canadian truck protests. They were like, go to Parliament and dance. That'll show them. It worked, though. I mean, it did to a certain degree. They did gain some ground a little bit. But eventually they froze everybody's bank accounts, and then it kind of fizzled out. But either way. Oh, do you, Snooks? Jesus loves us, Guessum. I don't know if I might be able to read that out loud. Guessum says, I'd do a threesome with Lauren and AOC as I get to punch AOC afterwards. She might be, you know what? Hearing AOC talk, I bet she does like to get punched while getting naked. You know, I don't know. Some people are just into that stuff. I don't know. I don't like violence. Next up, Representative Rosa DeLauro. Where is the evidence of the failure of FEMA? It's everywhere. Look around, lady. Either way, it's coming up next. But first, we're going to first, I want to remind you guys, is what I meant to say. If you would like to join the membership program over on Rumble, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. So you got to go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat, and like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We got chapstick emojis, screaming goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. Let's get this pulled up. This is a short video, I think. It's not that short. It's short enough. It's enough, okay? Once you see this woman, you're going to be like, oh, yes. Anyways, hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
Where is the evidence of the failure of FEMA?
Congresswoman, we still have claims open from Hurricane Katrina. We have fire claims that are still unpaid to people who said they were due them 7 to 8 to 10 years old. They have never been paid by FEMA. So one of the worst things that the federal government can do is to stand up in front of the American public and say, we will be there, we will walk alongside you in the most horrible time of your life, and then never follow through on it.
Well, that's
what the president has said is he's sick and tired of federal agencies that pick and choose who wins and who loses. He wants to make sure that the federal government's commitment, when it makes a commitment, that it follows through. So he's going to empower states.
The federal government is abdicating its commitment to the American people who find themselves.
It did certainly under Joe Biden's administration. Now President Trump's going to make sure
let me just say this to you. The Office of Professional Responsibility. The Office of Professional, because I knew you were going to go there. As you know, FEMA's Office of Professional Responsibility, under the Biden administration, there was no evidence, no direction or agency or field leadership to discriminate against disaster victims based on political affiliation, which was a charge.
I'll follow up with you.
Well, and I will follow up. I will follow up, and I follow up with my colleagues, quite frankly, and to really listen to people whose states, communities have been devastated, and what role FEMA has played. I don't know how many millions and millions of dollars went out in Louisiana. Actually, I've asked my staff to calculate that when Katrina hit. And the response was overwhelming. And the response has been overwhelming. If you want to make corrections, that's fine. We all agree with that.
Yeah, we can point to thousands and thousands of
well, if you wouldn't mind getting this committee, the information and the evidence where you talk about the dysfunction of the agency and where it has really failed, that would be important to those of us who are appropriating dollars.
Have you ever seen this thing out in the sun? Do you think she would just burst into flames? Nasty woman, or whatever it is. This ghoul with giant hands. making me feel like, look at her big hands. She's like she should be playing basketball. I don't know. I can't ever remember this woman's name. I got it wrote down, thank God. Representative Rosa DeLauro. Just, what do you do with these hands? Just big gorilla hands. Anyways. She's a vile, nasty woman. She wants you to prove that FEMA is worthwhile when they're not avoiding your house being flooded because you have Trump signs in the front yard. What do you mean that FEMA doesn't function? I like how Kristi Noem's like, we have open, ongoing, tabs from Hurricane Katrina. We got promises we ain't kept since then. She's like, yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Oh, so it sounds like you already know why FEMA sucks. So I don't know. I don't even know why they have those hearings, because those people just yell over the person that's being interviewed anyways, right? Kristi Noem was trying to talk, and this old dingbat is just going after her nonstop. I don't know. She's like, what's the point of showing up for that crap? I know you're supposed to, but Why even give an answer? It doesn't matter. They already think they know what you're going to say, so just go sit there and look pretty, I guess. Next up, Diddy trial. Sean Diddy Combs nervous about trial during jury selection. We're finally getting this trial underway. I didn't realize they were doing jury selection. Today was day 2 of jury selection. It'll be interesting once this starts rolling and we can get more information about what actually happened at those Diddy parties. Not that I want to know all the details. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Representative Rosa and her love for FEMA. 10 man, the storm ruined my family. Yeah, it affected a lot of people, and apparently there's still people who are waiting on some sort of outcome from FEMA. But people on Capitol Hill, they don't care about that stuff. Captain Shame is 20 years. Yeah, that's a long time to wait for the government to respond. Snooks. I had to learn from someone in voice chat what the man in the pink canoe is. Well, I'm glad somebody told you. It took men hundreds of years to find the man in the pink canoe. I'm glad you figured it out, Snooks. Captain Shame is Katrina was 20 years ago. How about the last year or two, you old freak? Yeah, they don't even want to talk about those people in North Carolina and stuff. From what I understand, they are getting help. I guess President Trump just sent a bunch of money over there to help with rebuilding everything that went away, with the floods from the hurricane and all that, from Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. And I guess things are getting better over there, but it's been a while since we've had a follow-up video. But Representative, whatever the hell her name is, I can never remember it. Representative Rosa DeLauro. That just sounds like a fake-ass name. Just... the woman that looks like Dark Crystal is so much easier to remember. Either way, she doesn't want to talk about, she don't want to talk about real things. She just wants to talk about the mean orange man trying to do away with FEMA. Russell, purple hair doesn't have the sense that God gave a monkey. You're right. I've never heard that phrase before, but it lands. It does. Kept Seamus talk about man hands. She's a banshee. That's what she is. Josh 1576, who in her family is getting paid by FEMA? That's a good question. Captain Seamus, I'll tell you in a little bit. What's up, Winston? Happy freedom to you. My feed, Cajun Navy 2016, Mule Packers, Samaritan's Purse, and Hope for Crisis, and many more Americans that sent help. Not Joe Biden or FEMA. No, as they said, no money left. Yeah, my feed. Because they took all that money and reallocated all of it to deal with the border crossers instead of it being a part of the emergency fund. They considered the border crosser incident, the open border, being an emergency reason to use those funds. Silver Wolf, poor typing is my middle name. I can't spell or type. It's a nightmare over here. Cody, yeah, the Dark Crystal representative. That's there you go. Yes, that is who I'm talking about. The Dark Crystal representative. FEMA region. Yeah. Someone said the Cajun Navy. I've never even heard of that. Happy freedom to you, FEMA region. 1 second. Come on. Of course, I don't have anything to drink. I'll have to grab something in a second. Oh, well. What's up, SOS? Happy freedom. Metal Mouth, FEMA has been dragging ass for 20 years on the Katrina victims. I know. Things are much worse than we thought they were. President Trump said, a week in, it was 5 days after the inauguration, he was like, we're going to do away with FEMA. And he keeps bringing it up. And Dark Crystal representative there, she don't want it. And like a hooligan said, who in her family is getting kickbacks from FEMA? So anything I could think of, why else would we need FEMA? You don't see lefties using FEMA. So why do they want to keep FEMA around if it's ineffective? Cody, oh my God, if I was a Diddy juror, I'd be a rich bitch. Yeah, Cody. Waiting for my opportunity to make some money. Yes. Winston, yes, burn her. She's a witch. I think she is a witch. She definitely plays the part, doesn't she? What's up, Justin Sane? Happy freedom to you. She's Skexy from Dark Crystal. Let me go with this really quick. We're gonna see. Oh, I think you're right. I think you're right. Let me pull it up here. How do I do this? Is this just one of them? You let me know. There she is. In all her glory. Gross. Fucking gross. Damn Democrats. Anyways. Anyways. Those damn Democrats. Without their human skin. Disco. I like when the house landed on her at the end of the movie. The wicked old witch. It's terrible. Pumpkin, they let her appropriate our money. Ew. I'm saying. What's up, Mike T? Happy freedom. Purple is the sign of royalty. That woman's royalty? Cody, it's a woman? I don't know what it is. Appeal to heaven. She is a witch. She is something. Cody vaporized. Yeah, if she went outside. I've never seen her in daylight. I think she never leaves the chambers. She just lurks around until there's time for a hearing. Totally care, Dark Crystal Muppet. Yep. Is that the Penguin's wife? Bill Clay cracking me up. I didn't realize this was a roast. Wicked Witch of the Democrats. Yeah, appeal to heaven. She's out here casting spells. That's why we can't get shit done. What's up, Ghetto Boy? Happy freedom. It's Mike Flynn in drag? Seriously? I don't know who Mike Flynn is. Could be. You never know. Appeal to heaven needs purple hair. That's what... Who said that? You know, who said that? They're like, you know what you need, ma'am? Just need to dye this shit purple up here. She's like, you know what? You're right. Just let me finish this fentanyl really quick. Go ahead and dye it purple. FEMA region. That's funny. We're talking about FEMA. We got FEMA region with us. FEMA region. Royalty exists in hell too. I mean, that, you know, that makes sense. Pumpkin, deport her. Yeah. Deportation. Where are we going to send her though? Just send her to hell, you know. Damn, that's going to be a catchphrase. We should make t-shirts that say, deport Democrats to hell. Nah, that might be too much. I don't know. It was catchy in my head. That's what she said. Metalmouth. I meant the chair now. Recognize the Democrats from Mordor. Yeah. Appeal to Evan. She would do great in El Salvador. I think you're right. She would do fantastic. What's up, Jay Spray? Happy freedom to you. Cap Seamus, you figured it out. Very nice. Meta, is that the Wicked Witch of the East or the West? I don't know. I've never seen her outside those chambers. A&G money laundering. Yeah, most likely. Most likely it's money laundering. Kirk Allen, creature from the Black Lagoon, would run from that. She might get you, though. She might fly. She looks like she could fly for some reason. What's up, Southern Eagleman? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Wanda? Happy freedom to you. Cellar dweller. Just lurking around, smelling like fentanyl and shame. What's up, Energy Woman? Happy freedom to you. FEMA region, the road to Chimney Rock just opened in North Carolina. I don't know what that is. What's up, guy? Happy freedom to you. India is bombing Pakistan-controlled part of Kashmir right now. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know what any of that means. I know what bombing means, but the rest of it, I don't know what it means. I'm just waiting till after the live. I'm sure there'll be videos all over the place talking about it. I try not to worry about foreign problems. Guy. Oh, you just removed it. Well, whatever. Yeah, there is people talking about it. I don't know anything about it. I'm not covering it. We'll see. Maybe I'll find a video for it tomorrow. But if there's just unknown chaos and violence flying, if I was to show it, I couldn't even show it on Twitch or YouTube. I'd have to shut those platforms off. So we got Coffee with Hooligans going. We'll see how the rest goes. Wayward, she wants to be a trans man so bad. She's got the hands going for her. Wayward, back to MTG, please. I can't stand this purple lizard. It's all we got. I told you guys. I was like, well, it's about 2 minutes. It's not that short, but it's enough. I knew it was going to be enough. All right, Hooligans, let's get into this next one. Like I said, Diddy trial. Sean Diddy Combs nervous for trial during jury selection.
Welcome back.
All right, let's get this pulled up. Now, I believe it's day 2 of jury selection, so it'll be interesting as time goes on and some of these details from this Diddy case come out, because as far as I know, there's like more than 1,000 victims or something like that. We'll see how this goes. This is the closest thing to learning anything about Epstein Island that we're going to get, I'm sure. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Back to live now from Fox. Our next story takes us out to the Big Apple as Sean Diddy Combs will be back in court today for day 2 of his sex trafficking and racketeering trial. Jury selection is set to resume with 19 jurors from the first day's pool moving on to the next stage. Fox 5 New York's Briella Tomasetti joins us live this morning outside the courthouse in Lower Manhattan with the very latest details. A lot of eyes on this case, Briella. Good morning.
Gina, good morning to you, and I can tell you this, it's expected to be another busy day at court. As a reminder, yesterday, potential jurors were given a brief explanation of the charges. The judge also told them that the defendant is presumed innocent until proven guilty. That defendant, of course, Sean Diddy Combs, walked into the courtroom yesterday wearing a sweater over a white-collared shirt and gray slacks. He hugged his attorneys when he got in. As proceedings got underway, Judge Arun Subramanian jokingly compared the long list of the prospective jurors to the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Several of them said they already saw a key piece of evidence in this case, video of Combs beating R&B singer and ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura inside a Los Angeles hotel. One woman was dismissed after describing a still image she saw from that video as, quote, damning evidence. Ventura, one of the 4 accusers, is expected to testify. By day's end, some were disqualified for personal reasons or because their opinions or past experiences would impact their objectivity. One prospective juror said she liked a video on social media posted by a comedian who joked about large amounts of baby oil found by law enforcement in the superstar's homes. She was not dismissed. At one point, Combs asked for a bathroom break, telling the judge he was a little nervous. The court ultimately hopes to seat all 12 jurors plus 6 alternates by the end of this week before opening statements begin on Monday. All of them, by the way, will remain anonymous. Prosecutors have argued that Combs used his power to force women to participate in sex performances called freak-offs. His defense team insists everything was consensual. The hip-hop mogul denies the allegations and has pleaded not guilty to federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges. Now, as you mentioned, Gina, 19 people from that first group of potential jurors are still in the running, and 36 more are expected to be questioned today. For now, we're live here, though, in Lower Manhattan. We'll send it back inside to you.
All right, Fox 5 New York's Briella Tomasetti. Briella, thank you so much for the detailed breakdown. We'll see how day 2 goes and check in with you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Thank you. And I want to share with you this latest tweet coming down on X this morning from the New York Post. It says, quote, Diddy makes sobering admission about his emotions as jury selection in bombshell NYC sex trafficking trial kicks off. So we are keeping a close eye on this case right here on Live Now from Fox, of course, cameras not.
Okay. Well, it's the first update on the Diddy trial that we've had in quite a while there. like I said, as the trial goes on, right now there's just jury selection. So once they get past this, they'll actually be putting forth evidence and, discussing the details of everything that happened. If there's more than 1,000 victims, it seems like this trial is going to go on for a very long time. I wonder how many people they're going to call in to speak either on his defense or accusers coming to, tell their story about what he did to them and all of that. This is, if he lives long enough, this will be a very interesting trial. However, things could go the way of McAfee or Epstein or any of these other people who have been Clintoned. It could be very much like that. We don't hear a lot about Diddy. We don't even know about like proof of life or anything until this happened. So if they just found him, not alive inside of his cell, who knows if we'd hear anything else about it. I bet there's a lot of people connected to Diddy, and just like when his house was raided when all of this started, there was a lot of people that suspected that the feds didn't go in there just to raid the house, but to destroy evidence of Diddy's connection to other people. That way nobody but him could go down with the ship. He wouldn't be able to tell on anybody because there wouldn't be any connections. Now, of course, that's just speculation, but it was very weird that his house got raided and he wasn't there. He just magically wasn't there. He was at an airport or somewhere trying to get on a private jet, and then they said that he fled. He fled to some island. I can't remember where it was. And then we didn't hear anything, and the next thing you know, he's in jail. So, I don't know. It's very hard to keep track of the story, but at least they got jury selection going. I assume we'll have some follow-ups with Diddy later on this week. Maybe. If not next week. Next up, seriously, CNN puts on Cartel Love Fest just to spite President Trump. It's very much like what it sounds like. They're going to be showing, this isn't directly from CNN. I don't know if this is Fox or Newsmax or who it is. But they're going to show clips from the CNN interview and kind of discuss how desperate the left is to sympathize with terrorists. That they're just sitting there like, oh, you poor cartel man, nobody understands you, and all of this. It's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you Hooligans think about this Diddy trial. Captain Seamus, if it was Hillary, the baby oil would be made from real babies. You're not wrong, Captain Seamus. Holy. Russell, naked slip and slide on the waterbed with baby oil is a bad idea. I knocked myself out. Yeah, you only got to do that one time. You wake up, you're like, why's my ass hurt? Russell, I hope Diddy throws people under the bus. We'll see if he does. It'll be very interesting because he's connected to a lot of people. He's like, at one point, he was like one of the biggest faces in the music industry. He still kind of is, but I don't think we'll ever have legends anymore. I've thought this for a long time. As far as movie stars and music stars, I don't think we'll have legends anymore. I think that we just don't care enough about media. We don't even pay for it anymore. We listen to music for free. We watch a lot of movies for free. We don't have to go and rent, pay money per movie to watch or anything like that. We just don't value it the way that we did before. Therefore, there's not as much of a demand of a legendary status. And so Diddy is going to be one of the last legends from the music industry, whether he's a good person or a bad person. But with that being said, he's obviously made a lot of connections. So it'll be interesting when they put the pressure on him, and we'll see if he folds and tells on any of his buddies. Appeal to having Tupac's alive. Some people think he's living out in Hawaii. Totally care. Depravity of the elite needs to be squashed. Yeah, and I don't know who's going to do it at this point. Pumpkin, Diddy has eyes that bug out and he looks scary. He is a little weird looking. The depiction of him in those pastel drawings is pretty weird too. Like if I was to see those drawings, I would not think that was Diddy if they didn't tell me. Silver Wolf, just sick. It's all just sick people. Yeah, they are. Totally care. I want Diddy to squeal piggy. He does at night in the lockup, I'm sure. Appeal to having at least one trial of Diddy versus Epstein Island. Well, they did do the Ghislaine Maxwell, or however you say her name, they did that, but they did it in secrecy. You couldn't tell what was happening in the trial. And then she went to prison or whatever, supposedly, and that was it. They don't say anything else about it. They give us phase 1 of the Epstein files, which was a whole bunch of nothing. Pretty soon it'll be like phase 42, and we still haven't learned anything new. I don't know who's coming to save us at this point. Silverwolf, let's have a hooligan freak off. Who's in with me? No, we can't. We ain't doing that stuff. We're not doing no freak offs. We are going to be trying to do a hooligan potluck, I think, at the end of August, before, you know, college starts up in September and stuff. I don't have it nailed down yet, but I'm thinking the second or third week of August, we're going to meet up at a state park for any of you guys that want to meet up. And we're going to do a potluck of sorts. Now, I don't know how far you guys are going to have to travel, and that's a long way to travel with food. So I will do my best to provide as much food as possible, but you will have to bring money so we can all buy beer. That's all I know. The spot I have picked has a lake that is shallow, so you don't have to worry about drowning and shit like that. It's got a sandbar that goes out like probably 30 yards. So we could fill the whole lake with hooligans, and everybody's going to be okay. It's got picnic tables to hang out at. It's got an awning so we don't get sunburnt, because some of us are, you know, a little fragile to the sun. 2-3 grills that we would have access to, plus we could probably bring our own grills if we needed. Campsites if you want to camp instead of, you know, having too much fun and trying to drive. There's also hotels nearby if you would like to try and do it the more modern way of, you know, staying the night. Stores not too far away for whatever you would need. Yeah, I think I got all my bases covered. I'm trying to nail it down to make sure that that's what we want to do before I put out flyers and all of that. But I am trying to put a hooligan get-together August, so like second or third week of August. I've been talking with 10 Man about it. I sent him pictures and stuff of the area I'm planning on picking out. I just got to see if there's anything special we got to do other than just show up. And if you're not from Michigan, it'll probably be $10 to come into the state park or something like that. But if you're from Michigan and you got your state park stamp, you'll be able to show up for free. And so that's that. But just know I got stuff in the works for later on this year if you guys want to come hang out and have a hooligan get-together. Not for a freak-off. Not for a freak-off. It's for food and fun and good stuff. Wet t-shirt contest. No, we can't do that. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Pumpkin, I don't know how to spell cashmere. They're fighting over cashmere like sweaters or only a territory? I don't know anything about it, Pumpkin. I don't know. Told to care. Whoa, Adam's Family reporter. I don't know. They both look like they had extra chromosomes or something going on. Yeah, FEMA region. Yeah, that too. For the Texan Diddy versus 100 gorillas. I don't know what to say about that. I don't have anything nice to say, so I'm just going to keep it to myself. Appeal to Heaven. I saw a live showing, live of Tupac showing that he wasn't dead. I seen a TikTok video of some guy doing that, but I couldn't tell if it was AI or just a lookalike. There's a lot of people who look like Tupac. Pumpkin, Tupac lives with Obama. Well, I hope he's not the chef. You know, I'm just saying. Appeal to Heaven. Diddy working with the elites. The elites will help him. Yeah, help him into the grave. That's what I think's going to happen. I think he is connected to the elites and all of that stuff because they need a place to party. Why not party with one of the biggest faces in the music industry, right? I mean, that sounds about right, doesn't it? They had Lady Gaga doing the damn inauguration for Joe Biden. So, you know, obviously the elites like being close with the music industry. But I think that if they're worried about Diddy spilling the beans, I think they're going to help him right into the grave. That's what I think they're going to do. Guess potluck will turn into a freak off. Count on it. No, that ain't on me. That's why, you know, I'm trying to figure out how to do this. I don't want to have to buy a permit. I don't have to schedule a permit. I want us to just randomly show up in a location like, oopsie, yeah, we all just met up out of nowhere. I don't want to have to be like event organizer or anything like that, because then if you guys show up and burn everything down screaming, whose streets? Our streets, then I'm responsible for it. I'm trying to avoid that. Guess do they allow side-by-sides? Yes. Yes, I believe they do. Kept shaming his family reunion at Jeff's lake. Well, I wish it was my lake. Appeal to heaven, so Diddy's the fall guy. Let's hope he realizes and spills the beans. That's what we can hope for. FEMA region, this is what our democracy looks like. That's right, we got to bring our own drums and stuff too. We leave the piss bottles at home. I will try and provide riot pizza to the best of my ability. Silver Wolf, I'm just kidding. I'm sure everybody will behave themselves as much as a hooligan can. Southern Eagleman, are you going to have apple pie moonshine? We probably could. People make apple pie up here all the time. Guess who out of nowhere the Juggalos show up thinking it's ICP meet and greet? I mean, you know, it could be. Bring your own baby oil? Well, guess who? I suppose. If you need that stuff. What's up, Corey Luca? Happy freedom. ACB, happy freedom to you. What's up, Lee? Happy freedom to you. ACB, probably a good idea. Oh, I don't know what you're responding to. American patriotism, I'll bring the weed. Good stuff. Somebody's going to have to bring it. Lee, Diddy's going to unalive himself. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. Well, that's what they're going to say. I don't think he actually will. I think somebody's going to assist him in it. Corey Luca, Diddy's case, 10 to 11 weeks. The case in Grand Rapids with the cop. The jury will be chosen his fate probably tomorrow. I keep trying to stay up to date with that. You're talking about with Patrick Leoya. I'm going to have to find a video. I didn't realize that it's coming up so soon, but thank you for reminding me, Corey Luca. Yeah, because we were covering that when that was going on, and then I just never did a follow-up on it. So I will do my best to have a follow-up video tomorrow. What's up, MD Cyron? Happy freedom to you. Vinny C, Diddy's in the Bermuda Triangle. He is the Bermuda Triangle. Klaus Daniels. Tearing stuff up. Wayward, hearing the mainstream media say freak off is funny. Yeah. They participate in the weekends. He was extra oily. Showing up to the trial. They're like, you looking greasy. He's like, you mean oily. Mm-hmm. Yes. Russell, are campfires allowed? Yes. And I don't know what it is right now, but the last time I was camping at the campground was only like $35 to camp for the night, which is a deal. Because anywhere you try and go camping, anywhere you try and go camping around here is like $85, $90. Like you might as well stay in a hotel for that. But the last time I went to where I'm talking about, it was about $35, and I want to check on it before I put together any kind of flyer or notice or anything like that. $35 is pretty cheap for a campsite, and yeah, you can have campfires. Guess if anyone wants to roofie me at camp, I'm okay with it. I don't know about all that. We can't be roofieing each other. 10 Man, will you camp with us? Yeah. I plan on camping. The only way I'm not going to be able to is if there's some sort of security situation. It's hard to defend yourself in the dark, but I intend on camping with all of you guys. For the Texan, over here you can just go to the state park. Well, you can go to the state park here if you got a sticker. Like if your license plate has the sticker that you pay for when you renew your license plate. Otherwise, it's like $10 to get in. Silver Wolf, Pakistan just declared war with India. Really? Well, maybe it's breaking because this is saying it hasn't happened yet, but we'll give it some time. What's up, Cyberpunk? Happy Freedom. For the texting $10 to camp ain't bad. No, it's $10 to get in the park, $35 to camp. At least the last time I was there. We'll see if the changes or the price for camping has changed. FEMA region, that would be on the front plate, I guess. Oh, I don't know. You only have to have a plate on the rear of your car here. I don't have front plates. Southern Eagleman, can you have a bonfire? Nah, I don't think you can have a bonfire, but you can have individual fires at your campsite. What's up, Rhyme Time? Happy Freedom. What's up, A-Quest? That's camp at Walmart. I mean, we could do that too. Walmart's kind of ways from the state park, though. All right, hooligans, let's move forward here. Like I said, seriously, CNN puts on Cartel Love Fest just to spite Trump. These anti-Trumpers will sympathize with anybody, including terrorists. We got Newsmax telling the story here. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Throughout my career, and sometimes something is so absurd it'll make you scratch your head in confusion, and even after being in this industry for as long as I have, I get genuinely surprised. That has happened again for me today. I became aware of an interview CNN did recently with an actual member of the Sinaloa cartel, and I'm going to play some of it for you. But first, correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like the correspondent with CNN is being sympathetic to someone who is responsible for the death and destruction of countless American lives. So let's start with it.
According to the Trump administration, you are a terrorist. I mean, the cartels have been labeled a foreign terrorist organization. What do you make of that?
Well, the situation is ugly, but we have to eat.
What's your message to Donald Trump if he's watching this?
My respect. According to him, he's looking out for his people. But the problem is, the consumers are in the United States. If there weren't any consumers, we would stop.
Seriously? What's your message to President Donald Trump? CNN is giving a network TV platform to someone who just admitted that, yes, I'm not going to stop sending drugs into the United States ever. Does anyone think this is crazy? I do. I want to call it journalistic malpractice. At some point, I feel like someone with a brain at CNN should have stepped in and said, guys, maybe we don't need to give an interview to someone actively working to poison and kill American people. But they did. And you know why? Well, when you suffer from Trump derangement syndrome, you'll do some pretty crazy stuff, including what looks like to me sympathizing with cartel members. The reporter wanted him to be defiant even towards our president. This is sick. This whole thing is sick. All right, I want to keep going.
The Mexican military are making a big effort to crack down on the drug production here. How are you responding to that, and how does that impact your work?
Están haciendo un buen trabajo, pero pues como ellos vienen más, pues uno tiene que buscar la forma de seguir trabajando, claro, en baja escala, ¿entiendes? Pero
do you hear what she said there? Impact your work. You see, that's a very important choice of words to me. Almost like she's trying to bring about some type of humility to this guy. That his work is being impacted and he and his family, they're going to go hungry. Look, I want to explain this. That cartel member specifically is wanted by the Mexican military for producing fentanyl that he ships to the United States. That's his official job, shipping fentanyl. She does it again. She tries to make this gang member terrorist seem like he somehow has some kind of humility.
I mean, people are dying on a daily basis. Children are afraid to go to school. Do you have any sense of remorse over your role and your involvement in this group?
Claro que sí. Claro que sí. Creo que sí. Pues está triste la cosa, pero pues está triste la cosa, pero.
No. Asking him if he has remorse, giving him a chance to apologize, like maybe we should feel bad for him. Hey, everyone, I make fentanyl. that kills thousands of people every year in the United States. But I am sorry, and I want to take this time that CNN has given to me to apologize for the death and destruction I've brought upon your country. I say no. I'm sorry there, Mr. Cartel member. You don't get to explain yourself and say this is sad. Like I said, every now and again, there's a new story that surprises me. And I'll be honest, yes, I was surprised even by CNN that they interviewed that guy. And then the way it was done, why? What part of that exchange that we just saw brought any value to the journalistic table? What? If anything, I think the reaction is one of sickness by the millions of families who have been impacted over the years, one way or another, by the drugs Mexican cartels have dumped and continue to dump into our country. And CNN gave them a platform to explain their actions and then actually gave him time to send a message to the President of the United States. We all knew this, but that network is messed up. I mean, we knew it was already messed up and jacked up, but this is some scummy stuff here. In their quest to somehow resist President Trump, they have resorted to interviewing a Sinaloa cartel gang member, and their news department obviously thinks that this is a good idea. My, how far they have fallen.
Information.
Well, it looks like CNN is complying with the Mexican cartel. I think that Tom Homan should show up, Pam Bondi and all them, probably arrest this reporter. They're all in cahoots together, it seems. I don't know. It's crazy that these lefties go out here, whether it's a judge or CNN or an idiot college student, and they just think it's okay. They're like, oh, you hate Trump? Okay, we're friends now. They're terrorists. Like, well, when you're doing your job, being the cartel, like, stupid. So stupid. I don't know why they think that that's the move to make. Do they not? I guess it's the lack of consequence, right? It always comes back to the same thing. There's no accountability here. I don't know when it moved out of America, but it's been gone a long time and we miss it. We wish accountability would come back. Maybe one day it will. But until then, you can just be a total piece of shit and it's fine. It's fine. You can sympathize with terrorists, the poor father from Maryland or whatever that is actually a woman-beating illegal MS-13 gang member. Oh, no, let's feel bad. Those senators going down there using tax doll hairs to go to El Salvador to go visit with inmates that are terrorist gang members. We got the judges who are housing and, aiding and abetting illegals and stuff like that. There's just no accountability. There's just none. It kind of feels like it's silly to follow the laws because you're kind of living the hard way. But the day that accountability comes back, you'll be glad you did. You'll be glad you follow those laws and you didn't participate in the shenanigans that all these bastards around us participate in. It shortens their lifespan in a lot of different ways. And sometimes it's the day that accountability shows up. Either way, next up, Antifa came out to University of Washington last night. It's a very short video. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about CNN sympathizing with the cartel. Yeah, Jay Spray, you're right. Yeah, 10 man, sounds good. Russell, it's only 6 hours from you? Cool, hell yeah. I thought it would be farther than that, but yeah, it's only 3 hours from there to the state line. Guess CNN, Cartel News Network. Now we know. Now we know. Guess CNN left them with some cocaine, I'm sure. Yeah. Just, paying them for doing the interview. It's not really a cartel member. It's just Joe Biden with his face covered up. What's up, ACO? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Boosted Flames? Happy freedom to you. Told to care anything for ratings. Yeah. Pumpkin, I have a question for that woman. What would you ask her, Pumpkin? Rappy, that is messed up. It is messed up. I don't know what to say about it. It's not illegal, I don't think. But at the same time, that means the CNN knows where the cartel currently was at that time. Usually, if there's a terrorist around, the government wants to know where they're located. So, I guess I have questions too. Appeal to Heaven, they need to hit up ICE and go after CNN. Sounds like it. What's up, Tiger Jaw? Happy Freedom. Pumpkin, she's lucky to be alive. How did they find this guy? How do they know he's actually cartel? Like, how did they get them to agree to an interview? Silver Wolf, damn grandchild knocking on the door like he's the fucking popo or something. I can't stand when people knock on my door all hard like that. I don't like when people knock on my door at all. I kind of think it's old-fashioned to a certain degree. You need to call before you come here, otherwise don't come here. You know, I don't know. It shouldn't be that way, but anytime somebody knocks on the door, even if they have the best of reasons, it still pisses me off immediately. As soon as they knock on the door, I'm just like, who the hell's that? Pumpkin, deport her. She's crazy. She is. Totally care. I'm calling BS. Could be. Thing could be staged. FEMA region. Where the hell is Jeff back? Near Detroit? No, I'm on the opposite side of the state. Sarah Puck, what state park? Silver Lake, next to Mears. That's where I'm planning on doing the hooligan get together. Boosted Flames, you're both accounts, or you just joshing me? Is that what white people say? Anyways. Appeal to Heaven, 16-hour drive from Florida to Michigan. I mean, if you drive fast enough, when I look up on Google Maps, it tells me it's 24 hours to Florida. I think it's also 24 hours to California. Pumpkin, I would ask her where they met at. Yeah, it was at a bodega in New York City. No. I wonder how they authenticated that little interview there. Appeal to Heaven. Like, you had an interview with the cartel and no one is watching CNN. Where's ICE? Yeah, good question. Silver Wolf, do they have RV and camper hookups also? I think so. I've only camped there once. My feed, I have 3 dogs. Call, don't knock. Yeah. Ah, you're a badass, Aiko. Appreciate you being here. Both of you. 10 man, we got 7 months to set it up. It'll be badass. Really? We got that much time? I was thinking we had 3 or 4 months. We'll get it together. Guess I'm 17 hours and 46 minutes from me. I better get sexually assaulted. I'll make it happen. Guess some. You make the trip and we'll get you assaulted. Don't you worry. We'll figure it out. I don't have a date yet here, Juicer. I'm thinking the 2nd or 3rd week of August. That way, if any of you hooligans are going to college or whatever, you shouldn't have to go back yet. And it'll be late enough in the summer to where, like, all the shenanigans should be over with. We'll be, it'll be past 4th of July, special events, music festivals and shit should be over by then. So I figure it'd be the calmest point while we still got nice weather to do a get together. 10 man, no, in August. Not in November. It'd be, you guys don't want to be here in November. I'm telling you, you don't want that. Meta, we can circle the wagon so no one can get you. I mean, I guess. Hooligan Secret Service. That'll be awesome. I'm going to make t-shirts. Meta, Garcia was moved to a facility in Santa Ana, El Salvador. He hasn't been at CCOT since early April. Interesting. Thank you for letting me know, Meta. I wonder if that has to do with their daily proof of life that the Democrats wanted. Guess who? He's just another fine man from Mexico, according to the left. Yeah. They wouldn't know a good guy if you slapped him in the face. What's up, Status Quo? Happy Freedom. Before the mosquitoes become big enough to carry away the kids. I've never had mosquito problems at this state park, and mosquitoes love me. They will die from DEET and try and land on me anyways. I mean, they try to bite me in my face. That they're so dedicated to get at me, and I've never had mosquito problems at the state park, so I think we'll be okay. What's up, Rhonda? Happy Freedom if I can get you all ready. What's up, Cricket Kiss? Happy Freedom to you. We're live on Rumble. What's up, Teasel? Lee, there's a campground just outside the park. There's a campground in the park. It's all together. There's a playground for kids. Like I said, the lake is shallow enough to where nobody's going to drown, whether you're an adult that can swim or an adult that can't swim, or you got, kidlings with you. They can play in the beach. It'd be fine. There's a beach, grills, picnic tables, awnings, camping, showers, bathrooms, and outside of the park is like little general stores and gas stations and stuff in the near area. If you had to travel to Walmart or something like that, you'd have to travel a ways. It'd be 30-40 minutes to the closest Walmart. Kirky Kiss. Maybe there's something going on with Rumble. But no, we're live on Rumble. American patriotism all-nighter? Probably. J Spray, what the ducks? I don't do that shit. Oh, Jeep stuff? Yeah. Yeah, 10 man, we'll get it figured out. Like I said, as long as I don't have to get a permit or anything, we should be totally fine. And they can't prove that anything was organized. I'm just telling you the day I'm going to hang out at the state park, and if you guys want to join me, I can't stop you. That's all I know. I'm not the organizer of this event. That's all I know for sure. Anyways, like I said, Antifa came out to the University of Washington last night. Let's go ahead and get this pulled up. This is a quick video here. This is the first time we've seen Antifa in a little while. And they think they're the real deal. The summer will really show their true colors. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this. Okay, now I'm trying to see if I can find this video. Like I said earlier, there was only one person live that was covering this, but they weren't really showing anything. Let me see if I can find it really quick. I don't even know how to use YouTube on my damn phone. There we go. Come on now, do the thing, you fucking idiot. Okay. Now, we're not going to sit here for the whole 20-something minutes. But I do got another clip. And like I said, I was sitting here watching this yesterday. And for the most part, they weren't even showing Antifa. They were just showing police standing around doing a bunch of nothing. So anyways, we're going to skim through this a little bit and see what they see. When I was watching it, it was a bunch of... it wasn't even this, really. It was like this. It was like just looking at cops just standing around doing nothing. You couldn't see anything else. I don't know if this person is like on Antifa's side or what, but this is the only live that was covering this yesterday. I like that the cops got little lights on their head. They didn't have that in 2020. We're just going to skim through it because it's like a 25-minute video. Now, this one's got his body cam rolling. The other one don't, though.
They also blocked off multiple streets today. They toppled those dumpsters to block off Jefferson Road. Those are the same dumpsters that they set on fire here in the past hour. And so in response, we did reach out to UW for how they're responding to this. A spokesperson in an emailed statement writes UW police, as you could see, would be nearby, and that trespassers remaining in the building will face legal and student conduct actions. We have not seen any arrests, but we're told Seattle police and state troopers both are nearby. Of course, we will be continuing to monitor what happens out here. You might be able to hear some chanting in the background. Those are the pro-Palestinian protesters. And so we'll continue to stay out here. We'll check back in with you in just a little bit, Steve.
Look at the artwork on the ground, busting out that Antifa chalk.
They say they're going to stay on campus until UW responds to their demands. This is almost a year to the day that we saw pro-Palestinian protesters take over the quad for 3 weeks. Again,
There's some dirty little protesters. The one with the garbage can shield is the one you know, that's the one you take out first. I mean, it smells a little like 2020. He's got his skateboard. Aw, dang.
what?
Well, anyways, like I said, Antifa came out last night. That's what it was. So everybody's sending me emails and shit being like, fuck you, Jeff Mack. You didn't go live and show Antifa. Well, there you go. They were standing around doing a bunch of nothing. It's not quite like it was in the lockdowns, but the fact that they came out at all is just more symptoms of a spicy summer. I'm sure that we will have something going on this summer, and we will be covering it, but either way, that's what we missed out on last night there. Once again, that was the University of Washington. Now, those guys, let me see, because I want to say I came across the video. Let me see if I saved it. They went in there earlier today, I think, and wiped them out. Yeah, let me see. So this says, law enforcement officers have breached the mechanical engineering building at the University of Washington. An operation to remove the Gaza occupants is underway. So this is what that looked like. Showing the SWAT team or whatever they are going in there, loosening up their little barricades. Look how rough they are on the equipment. They're going to be like, the students broke all these tables. Meanwhile, it was the officers doing it. Why not? To hell with them. I don't know why they even let them occupy the buildings. Like, how is that not an act of terrorism? Taking over a building on campus. You would think that'd be domestic terrorism. Anyways, that's Antifa coming out last night, coming out of the closet. Next up, we have Fauci will testify either voluntarily or involuntarily, says Senator Rand Paul. Now, he swears he's going to go after Fauci. He's been swearing about that for half a decade now, so we'll see if that actually happens. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Antifa showing up at the University of Washington. Cap Seamus, give Chaz the chop. Yep. That's what they need. Russell, that dude's AR was painted yellow. Yeah, because it's non-lethal. Kept Seamus, the cop picking up his donuts? Yeah, I don't know what he's picking up off the ground. His love letters or something. Skater boy goes down second. On his boyfriend. Holy. RoboCops, yeah, Russell. That's what they look like. Hair Juicer, I saw a little bit of it. I was on the phone when you posted it. I gotta check it out after the live. Cam Seamus, Silver Sands Resort is $187 a night in mid-August if you book right now. I wouldn't get a room there. They're overpriced because they're only open 3 months out the year. If I was you guys and you're coming to the Hooligan get together, I'd get a hotel in Hart, which is just on the outside of Mears and Silver Lake and all of that. In Hart, things would be cheap. They'll be a lot cheaper than that. I know that. What's up, Jack? Happy Freedom. Jack, it must smell like rancid soy. I mean, I could only imagine. What's up, Spicy K? Happy Freedom to you. Pumpkin, they were so quiet. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that these guys really know what they're doing. They're just LARPing as Antifa. Cyberpunk paid to show up. They probably found an ad on Craigslist. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all. They were just standing there doing nothing. They don't even know why they were there. What's up, Puff and Stuff? Happy Freedom to you. What's up, Sergeant Tripod? Happy Freedom to you. Pumpkin, the Proud Boys might like to see Antifa again for old times, you know. Yeah, we'll see if that happens. It's been a while since I've seen the Proud Boys get active. The last time I seen Proud Boys gathering is when they were doing that thing in front of the Capitol building. I can't remember what the leader. Oh, he's not the leader anymore. What was the leader of the Proud Boys, whatever his name is that I can't think of right off the top of my head. He was arrested for supposedly assaulting somebody because he slapped some girl's phone out of her hand or something. I guess he got let go, but that was the last time I seen the Proud Boys, and they weren't even being that active. They were doing a presser to say that they had put out cryptocurrency or something like that, and they were using the funds from the cryptocurrency to try and sue the government. And I don't remember if it was about the J6ers or what specifically it was about, but that was the last time I seen the Proud Boys. Spicy K, can you find out how much the toll is to cross on the ferry? Last I checked, it was like $200 for a round trip. It's something like that. I can take another look. Really, all you're looking for is I guess it's probably just the car ferry website, but the car ferry that they're currently using is called the Badger, and so I can look it up in a little bit. So Wolf feed was lost. Oh, so maybe there is something going on with Rumble. What's up, Tree Herder? Happy Freedom to you. Silver Wolf, they spray for mosquitoes? Yeah, I believe it, because I've never had a mosquito problem out there in Silver Lake. Russell, the campground's at the state park for that website that I sent you. Pag, I hope they break out the water cannons. I don't think they legally can. I think there's some law against it. Because we were waiting for that in 2020. A lot of people were saying that it was illegal for some reason. But I don't know. Rhonda, what date are you planning on? Either the second or third week of August. That's all I know right this second. Teasel the quiet treatment? I don't know if that's what they're doing. I think they're actually scared. Billy T, Antifa brought me to this channel about 5 years ago with a live view of a dude named Rittenhouse practicing freedom. That's right, Billy T. We watched Kyle do what Kyle does best, and then we hung out long enough to cover the Kyle trial. And we're still here. Chris, we're going streaking. I mean, you know, there's definitely a time and a place. Status quo, make H2O cannons great again. Might have to. Wayward, the police retreating boils my blood. I think they're just there for show. Like, you know, the woman behind the camera, she was saying, well, no arrests have been made yet. Well, then what the hell are y'all doing? You just out there staying there for no reason? Got to spend that tax dollar somehow. Russell, there is a campground there at the park. There's campgrounds all around the park, but there's only one. It itself is a campground. Josh 1776, didn't someone involved in the trial die recently? Maybe the kid that gave him the gun? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that, Josh 1776. All right, hooligans, let's move forward. Like I said, this next one is Fauci will testify either voluntarily or involuntarily, says Senator Rand Paul. He's been going after Fauci ever since the lockdowns. Sounds great. Nothing's actually happened, but it sounds good. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the Commie Tube, and let's get into this.
Senator, welcome back to National Report. Okay, Trump administration 2.0 is back in charge. Are you hopeful that they actually get to the bottom of COVID-19?
You know, we're excited about the Trump administration actually helping. We've been through several years of the Biden administration actually trying to hide the ball, covering up what had happened, obscuring the truth, and really refusing to give any records concerning this. I've been trying for over 3 years to get non-classified records about the decision to fund the research in Wuhan, and it's been denied. But I can tell you, under Secretary Kennedy, under Jay Bhattacharya, the records are beginning to flow. And what we're discovering is, yes, they did debate over whether or not it was gain of function. Fauci said everybody said it was not gain of function. Well, we're going to get to the bottom of this, and ultimately Dr. Fauci is going to need to come back in and explain why he made this decision. There ultimately will be an interview, either voluntarily or involuntarily. If he won't come, he will have to come back and explain to the American people why he decided to fund this research in China. This may be one of the greatest medical errors in modern history. And he bears a large part of the responsibility for this.
Sure. And it doesn't stop with the DNI. President Trump signing an executive order ending all present and all future federal funding of gain-of-function research in foreign nations like China, Iran. What are your thoughts on this executive order signed by the president?
You know, I think it's a great idea. It's going to ultimately need to be followed up by a change in the law. I have a bipartisan bill that passed last session unanimously. I'm going to pass it again out of committee as well. And I'm hoping that we can make legislation occur. The reason you need legislation is if one administration fixes it, the next administration just come in and unfixes it or takes away the reform. So really what we need to do is have law. We actually have some bipartisan support for reform legislation. My legislation would let President Trump create a commission or a council of scientists that would oversee this. The reason you need a council to make active decisions is people define gain of function in different ways. Anthony Fauci said, well, the reason the research in Wuhan didn't get extra scrutiny is he defined it as not being gain of function. Now, almost everybody disagrees with him, but that's what he did is he defined away the problem. So reforms are good, but I think there actually needs to be an active council of scientists and also scientists who are not receiving government money from NIH.
Sure.
What Fauci did is he brought in scientists who were receiving grants, and then when they did what he told them to do, he gave them larger grants. One scientist got an $8 million grant after doing Fauci's bidding. So what we don't want is extortion, bribery, or influence schemes going on. And we think our legislative reform is the ultimate fix, but we're happy with what Trump administration has done so far.
You know, we saw on January 20th, just as President Trump was about to be sworn in, President Biden pardons Fauci. So you mentioned you want to hear from him again, whether he's volunteering or not. But what does accountability really look like here?
Well, you know, I think history is going to be a harsh judge for Fauci. He's been given the pardon by Biden, so the chance that he goes to jail for the felonies that he committed, such as lying to Congress, are unlikely. But we are still going to get to the bottom of the decision he made and make sure that history remembers him as the person who made the bad call to send money to a totalitarian regime in an unsafe lab to do very, very dangerous research. And this was just a medical error, a judgment error that will, I think, resound through history. But he shouldn't get away with it. The left still wants to protect him, and I want to make sure he's responsible because I want to make sure that it doesn't happen again. I want to make sure the public is so upset with that decision that we never let anybody get in power again who would make this kind of decision.
Yeah, put as much of the facts as you can out there for the American people to see.
Information. Well, like I said, it sounds good. Let's put the facts out there for the American people to see. We've seen enough. We've seen enough. We're waiting for you guys to actually do something. Do something. Anytime we break the law, you guys are just falling all over each other to come arrest us. But anybody famous breaks a law and, wow, it's going to take 20 years before we make any arrests, if we make any arrests. And we're just tired of that. So tired of it. So whether he testifies or don't testify or spills the beans or doesn't spill the beans, if he doesn't go to jail for wrongdoing, then what does it matter? You know, we got so much TV and movies to watch. We don't need any more entertainment. We need people to be held accountable for their actions. And Fauci is a terrible person. He definitely deserves some accountability. So maybe in the future we'll see something. Either way, next up we got the last little bit of the news. It's titled Lefties Losing It. This one's titled Funniest President, Trump's Hilarious TDS Prognosis. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Rand Paul. Josh up to 76, the prosecutors released a list of sorts. Yeah, like I said, they could release all the information. But we can't arrest him. We can't hold him accountable. So telling us that he sucks, we already know he sucks. So, I don't know. It sucks to know that he sucks and that nobody's doing anything about it. That's kind of where we are. Guess I'm not a huge fan of Rand Paul. I like that he goes after Fauci. I just wish it wasn't all, you know, smoke and mirrors. Zero, Rand Paul needs to get on board with Trump's plan instead of fighting it. Yeah. I keep seeing people say that he doesn't like the tariffs or something like that. What's up, Sausage King? Happy freedom to you. Ron may be compromised. Who knows? Yeah. Well, and that's the hard thing is like who's not compromised. You know, we want to see people do things, but it seems like nothing gets done. Silverwolf, if you're a politician, you're compromised. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Joel DeCare, all show and no go. Yeah, we're tired of it. We're tired of it. Jack, I'm so grouchy with Fauci. I feel the same way. Puff and Stuff, damn, 33-hour drive from me to Silver Lake, Macwood Dune rides. Damn, 33 hours? Where are you for it to be 33 hours? That's crazy. Because I want to say I could drive to California and it's only 24 hours, 25 hours or something like that. Maybe it's longer than I think it is. That's what I told her. What's up, Crystals? Happy freedom to you. Pumpkin, I don't think Rand Paul likes Trump. I mean, if he's, you know, contradicting what Trump wants, it definitely could be. Jack, as far as I'm concerned, and until I know otherwise, they're all eating babies. Yeah, Jack, that's how I feel too. Yeah, crystals, that's what everyone's been saying. Hey, thank you for being here, Viola. What's up, Sherry? Happy Freedom to you. We deserve to see some accountability. Tired of the evil. Yeah, you're right. You're right. We do deserve that. That's what I'm saying. It kind of stings when Rand Paul says, "Oh, well, we deserve," or not we deserve. We need to show the American people the truth and the facts and let them see the details. No, we're tired of seeing all the details. We want to see people going to jail. We want to see people get treated the way that we're treated anytime we break the law. That's what we want to see. Vinny C. Rand Paul is a rhino. Definitely seems that way. What's up, Derek? Happy Freedom. 14-hour flight. That's quite the trip. Rhonda, $233 for a round trip in August. I'm surprised it's that much for being ahead of schedule. They did do a lot of maintenance on the Badger. Maybe they're trying to up the prices to pay for it. All right, hooligans, let's move into this next one. Like I said, this is Lefties Losing It. This one's titled Funniest President. Trump Hilarious TDS Prognosis. Let's let Rita tell us how it is. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
It's time for Lefties Losing It. Now, we all remember Neil Young humiliating himself by firstly boycotting Spotify in protest against Joe Rogan. After trying to get the world's most popular podcaster cancelled for so-called misinformation during the COVID era, he wrote, "They can have Rogan or Young, not both." Yes, he wrote that in an open letter. The silly old delusional fool was back at Spotify with his tail between his legs. Seems money trumped his principles. Now he has launched another protest with a song lambasting Elon Musk. So let's see what he's singing here. He's singing what?
If you're a fascist, get a Tesla. If it's electric, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay, that's as bad as I expected. If you're wondering what he's saying there, because it's very hard to tell, the lyrics are, if you're a fascist, get a Tesla. It's electric, it doesn't matter. I'm going to play you the next 10 seconds. I think that's all we can stomach for one day. Get ready to cringe some more.
If you're a Democrat, taste your freedom. Get whatever you want. Taste your freedom.
Somehow that next 10 seconds was even worse than the first. And the lyrics there, and I have to tell you the lyrics because it just sounds like incoherent wailing. But what he's saying there is, if you're a Democrat, taste your freedom, get whatever you want, taste your freedom. Profound stuff. Now, let's check in on some lefty v lefty violence. I hate it when they turn on each other. Here is veteran Democrat strategist and Trump deranged loon James Carville talking to a junior Democrat strategist and Trump deranged vice chair of the Democratic National Committee, David Hogg. Grab the popcorn, folks. This is fun.
I think it is abominable that an official of a political party who is being paid or supported by that political party to go out and raise money to defeat members of the same party. I think that's a jackassery of the highest level.
James, can you tell me
if you want to beat Republicans, of which of course lefties never do, they never even run against them. That's one thing. I'm not into beating Democrats. I'm into beating Republicans. And I just will tell you right to your face, I think it's abominable that you have anything to do with the DNC.
Oh, it gets better. James Carville is extra spicy here.
I called on Joe Biden to drop out of the race in 2022. Where were you? Where was the young cool generation come in? Did they step in there and say something? I spoke out against the horrific language of identity politics. Where was everybody else?
What is your plan to deal with our abominable approval rating?
Win elections. Win elections.
Ah, so good. Now let's hear from Hollywood has-been Sean Penn and listen to this absolutely unhinged rant about Donald Trump. This is the most asinine analogy you'll hear all year.
And I do think it's a reasonable theory that Donald Trump is not unlike the spouse of someone who leaves him perhaps for another, who then murders their former partner because if they can't have her, nobody can. And I think Donald Trump in his solipsism may have that relationship with the world, and that this destruction is in part a power play and also a literal intention of his final out.
You think he'll try to stay on?
I think he might try to destroy the world before he ages out of life.
Now, do you think there was any pushback against that madness from Jim Acosta or Eric Fang Solwell? No. Instead, we got this from the man who had an affair with a Chinese Communist Party spy. The nerve of this dude. This is just more TDS lunacy.
In the history of dictators or those who aspire to be dictators, there's never a succession plan, right? There's never, and that's what worries me is if he doesn't believe there's somebody who can protect him, that you will see him ratchet up, what he's willing to do to the country.
These people are nuts and massive hypocrites because I remember Sean Penn. This is a dude who actually loves real despots, real brutal dictators, like the one who helped destroy Venezuela. Yes, neo-Marxist Sean Penn was very fond of cozying up to the Venezuelan dictator, Hugo Chavez.
I will wish him nothing but that great strength he has shown over and over again. It is only possible to be so inspiring as he is.
Yeah, he's talking about the dictator there, seriously. Now, I tell you, TDS is a chronic condition. Indeed, if you believe the president, it is a fatal condition.
They suffer from a thing called TDS. Do you know what that is? TDS, it's a horrible, horrible terminal disease. It destroys the mind. It destroys the mind before the body, but the body eventually goes. TDS is Trump derangement syndrome.
He really is the funniest president we've ever had. Now, the usual suspects, the Democrats and their propaganda arm, the bulk of the mainstream media, had another meltdown over this amusing image of President Donald Trump as the next pope. Obviously, a little bit of fun and frivolity thanks to the wonders of AI. But according to some, it's hugely offensive to Catholics.
Some Catholics were not so happy about the image of you looking like the Pope.
Oh, I see. You mean they can't take a joke? You don't mean the Catholics, you mean the fake news media. Not the Catholics loved it. I had nothing to do with it. Somebody made up a picture of me dressed like the Pope, and they put it out on the internet.
Joining me now is comedian and host of Primetime with Alex Stein on Blaze TV. Alex, you're a Christian.
All right. Well, that's Lefty's losing it. This is Klaus Daniels. Don't you get that stink bug? There's a stink bug over there. He's gonna tear the whole tapestry down just to get it. Damn communist stink bugs. Well, hooligans, that is all the coffee I had for you guys. Or it's not all the coffee. That's all the news I had for you guys. We're going to get into the fun stuff next. We're going to be opening today's door of the Advent calendar that was sent to us by Hair Juicer. And we got two funny videos of the day. First one's titled One Beer In, and you start going off like this. That's provided by Stoner. And then I went and found a video titled Baby Theo. All of that's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about lefties losing it. J Spray, Pimp on a Blimp. So I actually looked that up. I told you guys I was going to do that. And I didn't know that Alex Stein was like freestyling and all of that. Let me see if I can find it really quick just for shits and giggles. We'll see if YouTube will take my video down. They did yesterday. Let's see, I think it's this. Yesterday my live was banned in multiple countries because of the music that played during one of our funny videos. Stupid. That's how stupid YouTube is. Either way, if you haven't seen Pimp on a Blimp, this is how it goes.
I definitely do want to put you on the spot.
Okay, yeah.
You say you have the freestyle skills.
Oh yeah,
to pay the bills.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna find a beat.
Any beat.
I'm gonna find a beat, and I would love to get the Pimp on a Blimp.
We gotta end the show. We gotta go.
Yeah, we're gonna end the show. We're gonna see what we're gonna see where the skills are. Hold on, give me a second.
Okay.
Give me a second. We're about to
make sure it's copyright free. I don't want to. This case
if it's
goes
not
viral.
If it's not, we're gonna put this in another part of it. We're gonna.
Okay, yeah.
We're just gonna get.
I want you to get paid, dude.
Yeah,
and I want to say this. I don't even know if this makes a show, but real life street stars. You guys have interviewed some.
He's got a Gucci watch band on his smartwatch.
A lot of people don't realize how hard it is, even just hit record on those cameras. And if you're out there and you're thinking, man, I can do this, do it. Try it. Guys, I changed my life when I started creating content. I'm sure your life has changed a lot, Joker. So, guys, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. And these guys right here, they're dreaming and they're play.
Have a seat. I'm gonna play.
We're not going to watch this whole deal. We're just going to watch a little bit of it. This is Pimp on a Blimp. This is where it comes from, I guess.
Here we go. Hold on, here we go.
Gotta get this, gotta get it going. Oh, I like this. Now we smoking. Yes, I'm prime time, and I'm not joking. I'm a pimp on the blimp. I'm a hoe with all the shrimp, and you gon' suck my dick. I'm a first round motherfucking draft pick. Yes, I make you sick when I drive down the road. Yes, I'ma hold my hoe to the code of the streets. Kiss these feet.
Okay, we'll end it at Kiss These Feet there. So yeah, that's the Pimp on a Blimp you guys are always bragging to me about. I've been rapping my ass off for like 2 decades. I thought he was really gonna say something when he was doing it. I thought he was like actually gonna rap. I didn't know it was gonna be like that. And when you drink too many White Claws at the party, you start rapping like that. That's Klaus Daniels. Anyways, like I said, we're reading through and we're getting into the fun stuff next. That is something else. I couldn't believe it when I found that. I was going through my tabs of reminders and I was like, oh yeah, the Hooligans want me to look up Pimp on a Blimp. And I saw that and I was like, that's what you guys wanted? Well, all right. Aw, damn, get some. We're going to piss everybody off with this. I love this. I love this. Bam. Be fucking angry. Pope Jeff has entered the building. Holy shit. I love that. Guess some. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Damn. That is good stuff. Anyways, read through the chat. Good Lord, I gotta save this. That is, love that. Dang, J Spray, is that your car? That's nice. Russell the Pope image was funny. Yeah, and fake news trying to go after President Trump about it. Russell, it's always lefties losing it, never righties losing it. Yeah. People on the right, they ain't got time for that. Zero, make that your profile picture on X. That is a good idea. I might have to do that. That cracks me up. That picture is so funny. I'm going to send that to everyone after this. Captain Seamus, the only problem I see with it is Jeff doesn't want to work on Sundays. It's not that I don't want to work on Sunday. It's really like Mondays I can't stand working. But Sunday, it's so hard to find news because there's just nothing going on Sunday. 10 Man, he calls his chat the chat rats. That is something else. Jay Spray, that was your grandpa's car? It's very nice. Hey, I appreciate you being here, Jack. I hope everything goes smoothly. Pumpkin, that's awful. The rapping or Pope Jeff? She's like both. Hey, thank you for being here, Rappy. Enjoy the rest of your day. Cricket Kiss, you made it over to Rumble. Silver Wolf, I got the skills that pays the bills. Yeah, Alex Knight is hilarious. Appeal to having lots of TDS going on? Yeah, it's an epidemic. Hey, thanks for being here, ANG. Cricket Kiss, randomly throw a snowball at the neighbors and yell snowball fight. Fun times. I've never witnessed that. If you're in the wrong side of the neighborhood, I don't think you could do that stuff. Throw a snowball, they just shoot back. It's rough stuff. Wayward Jeff is the popest of them all. That picture is fantastic. Love it. All right, hooligans, let's get into the fun stuff. Like I said, we're going to be opening today's door of the Advent calendar sent to us by Hair Juicer. And we got 2 funny videos of the day. But before we get into this, I want to remind you hooligans really quick, if you would like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use the links in the description in order to send donations. You can do that by using PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Zelle, Venmo, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even send crypto. Let's see what we get today. We're getting down to it. I think we only got four doors. 4 doors. Yes, I'm trying to think. There's something about that. Klaus Daniels, you sit your butt down. No, he's trying to climb the screen door. Of course. I'm trying to think. Was it Kyle Rittenhouse's username was 4 doors, more horrors or something? I'm pretty sure. I know you guys know in the chat. Either way, today is day 20. It's not necessarily day 21. We had to skip around a little bit, but it's day 21 on the calendar. I know that. Let's see what we get. Not perforated again. Okay. I'm fighting for my life, Klaus Daniels. I feel like R. Kelly. Fighting for my life. Nice. Wire saw. At first I thought it was his and hers meat rings, but no. Wire saw. Yes. Good stuff. I kind of want to take it out of the bag, but I feel like if I take it out of the bag, I'll never get it back in the bag. You guys can see it. Yes. Right? You know what this is. Either way, thank you so much, Hair Juicer. I'm excited to see what's left in the calendar here. Let's put it in the Survivor bag here. Awesome. Thank you, Hair Juicer. Getting into our fun stuff here, or our funny videos of the day. Let's get this one pulled up. I saw a Mandela effect video. I thought about making that the funny video of the day, but it wasn't necessarily funny. It was kind of like a riddle, or like taking a poll. Not like your mom takes a poll, different, okay? Anyways, moving forward here. This is by Stoner. This is titled One Beer In, and you start going off like this.
Who gives a shit? Our government doesn't give a shit. 2 million illegal immigrants bedding down in this state tonight. This state spent $3 billion last year on services for those people who had no right to be here in the first place. $400 million just to lock up a bunch of illegal immigrant criminals. Don't laugh.
Yep. All right, getting into our official funny video of the day. Let me get this pulled up. Hold up a second there. This is titled Baby Theo.
One time this guy fighted me when I was young.
He fighted you?
Well, you know what I'm saying.
I do.
Past tense. But he, they made us hug in the hallway. That was the big thing.
When it was over?
At our school, you had to stand there all afternoon for literally probably maybe 2-3 hours with your arms on each other's shoulders.
After you fought?
Yep.
Oh, to make up with each other?
And he became one of my best friends after that. Yeah, that's true.
Baby Theo. I don't know. Something about that video. I was like, yeah, that's the video right there. Anyways, that is all the coffee I had for you guys today. I'm going to grab this Linktree link really quick. We're going to drop it in all the chats. We're going to read through. And we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. Thank you for being here, Ange. All right, hooligans, there's the Linktree link where all of my links are listed. So if you'd like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, I would really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday. So you got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Because I'm now Pope Jeff. No, anyways, definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there, keeping the conversation going 24/7. We have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. We now have a free membership as well as paid memberships. Our free membership is a limited experience over on the website, but if you get a paid membership, you will be able to join us in the live chat. Our live chat has more ability than any other live streaming platform out there. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff in the chat right there while watching the live. You will also have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our private social media area. You'll have access to the forums, the arcade, and our advanced messaging system with the built-in group chats. So definitely go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. Like I said, we're going to read through them. We got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. Weird. The audio's going in and out. I don't know. I'm not seeing that. Oh, I see what you're saying, Josh 1776. You guys need to leave the volume button alone. Klaus Daniels. He's going to rip my curtains down. Sit your little ass down. He's like, it's raining chapstick. Yeah. Sit your bow down. Put your bow clown down. I'll get you. Yeah, I will. I'll get you. Smack your booty. Anyways. Gotta ban those assault chapsticks. Russell Baby Theo is great. I agree. I don't know if there's other videos like that out there or if that's the only one. They should make more. Josh 1776, get a Nerf gun to shoot him when he's being bad. I had a water bottle and everybody was telling me I was being mean to him because I was spraying him. Nerf or nothing. That's what I'm going to tell him. Klaus Daniels. I only got so many chapsticks. I think I got 24 of them. Don't you test me. Go lay your butt down. He's like, how's he getting me? My aim is on point. Told to care, show him who's boss. You got thumbs. I'm not giving him the thumb. Either way. Thank you for being here, Too Old to Care. Appeal to heaven, listen to the national song in the morning, now the pledge at night. I know, I kept meaning to try and do the Pledge of Allegiance at the beginning of the live, but I can't ever remember to do it. I have a lot of anxiety when I start the live, and I forget things. Bill Clay, American History X. Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time. It's a pretty good movie. Biting the curb is a little rough, and there's some other rough parts of that movie, but it's a good movie if you make it through. Hey, thank you for being here, Pumpkin. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bill Clay, what if Klaus throws it back? I mean, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. He's a hooligan cat. You know, you can't make any assumptions around him. He'll always surprise you. Captain Seamus, Klaus could be worse. Our mouse brought in a live bird this morning and let it loose in the house. Klaus is fine without friends. He won't sympathize with the birds. They make fun of him. They point at him and laugh. They come and stand on the porch and laugh right in his cat face. He hates them. He might be racist. You know, there's reasons why Klaus can't talk. Shroomish, happy free up to you. Don't be scared. We're just hooligans. Yeah. Sherry Catnip will chill him out. Yeah, he's ready for the fancy feast. He knows as soon as I get off this live, he's getting fancy feast. Hey, thank you for being here, Wayward. All right, hooligans, it is that time once again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Well, that's the thing as far as I know. We're going to read through one last time just to make sure no hooligans are left behind. I just remembered that I took this screenshot, though. There was someone I know that they're doing a college class, and part of their college class was having to take the citizenship test, the same test that illegals take to get into the country. And I told him to send me the questions over because I wanted to see what they were. And as I was reading through, it's like 100 questions. This came up as question 50 and 51. Name one right only for U.S. citizens. You can vote in a federal election and you can run for federal office. What are two rights for everyone living in the U.S.? That's everybody who's here. Freedom of expression, speech, assembly, petition of the government, religion, and the right to bear arms. That doesn't say U.S. citizen. That just says everyone living in the U.S. And that's from the actual citizenship test to get into America. And so I thought that was really weird, and I meant to talk about it earlier and I forgot. So now you know. Anyways, we're going to read through the chat. Make sure no hooligans are left behind. But like I said, we are wrapping this up. We'll be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Hey, thank you for being here, Jay Spray. Enjoy the rest of your night. Man sounds like bullshit. Yeah, it does sound like bullshit. Thank you so much, Jack, for gifting a sub over on Rumble. You're badass, Jack. Thank you so much. Thank you, MU. Appreciate you being here. Cricket Kids, please bring back civics, state laws, and constitution law. Our kids are clueless. Yeah. Appreciate you being here, Elder Zoomer. Thank you, Holly. Viola, are you sure it's at 3 p.m. Eastern? I start working on the schedule at 1. And then 3 usually shows up and then leaves again. I try for 3 every day. I'll say that. Appreciate you being here, Digital Saints. Thank you, Teasel. Thank you, Zero. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, Appeal to Heaven. All right, I think we're good to go. Like I said, we will be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. I appreciate all of you guys being here covering the news with me, laughing at my giant cat and all that. That's some sexy talk if I've ever heard it. Either way, go ahead and enjoy the rest of your night, but make your way back to us tomorrow for more Coffee with Hooligans. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.